protection of members and development of the sector. And that's why we have set up 2 days to reflect 24 years down the line on the journey that we have walked, the challenges that we continue to face, and take advantage of the opportunities that have been presented to us. The authority was established at a time when the retirement benefit sector was experiencing what appeared then as insurmountable challenges. Chief Guest, we didn't have much of a regulatory framework, save for what we had under income tax. Theft in the industry was at unpalatable levels. Levels of awareness and saving culture was in doubt. The governance structures in pension funds and in the service providers who are offering these services were in doubt as well. And we had the perennial challenge of failure to pay benefits on time. Ladies and gentlemen, almost 24 years later, I am extremely delighted to stand before you today to give a scorecard of what has been achieved over these years. And let me start by introspecting on the investment arena, that despite the volatility in the investment space, pension funds investments have remained resilient. The pension assets under management have grown from the year 2000 to 2024. And when we reflect on the numbers, we started with a figure of 40 billion of assets under management for all pension funds in Kenya. And today, we celebrate because we are short of 2 trillion Kenya shillings. The current assets under management is to the tune of 1.9 trillion Kenya shillings as of June 2024. We are delighted and with this resilience because it reflects an annual growth rate of 12% over the years. On the side of growth of the number of people saving for retirement, the pension coverage equally has grown tremendously, from a low number of 10% of the labor force to today where we are at 26%. Chief Guest, we appreciate that we still have a challenge of the number of people saving for retirement in this republic, and a lot of interventions are required. And I believe this forum that we're having today and tomorrow will be yielding towards addressing the issues of the scope of the people who are saving and who are in this space. Our Chief Guest, just to indicate that over the number of pension funds have also grown to date to 1,027, which is what is covering the 1.9 trillion. When I look at the space of the service provision with this space, we now have more than 82 service providers. We have 34 fund managers registered with the authority. We did start with 2 fund managers when we started. We have 30 pension fund administrators, most of whom are represented here today. And on the side of safekeeping and custody, we now have 16 custodians. And the journey has been long, but the most important thing is that during this period, that team of service providers have complemented this industry by bringing in professionalism in the way we save funds for the members who are saving for retirement. In addition to the numbers that we have also witnessed great strides in the legal space, the legal and regulatory framework, we have had interventions over these years trying to cure those perennial challenges, and that's why I'm proud when I stand before you today to indicate that we have gazettement of the good governance guidelines that ensure that retirement benefit schemes in Kenya are effectively managed, promote transparency and accountability, resulting in positive retirement outcomes. Equally, we have the trustees' remuneration guidelines that ensures that scheme expenses are managed prudently, aligning with trustees' fiduciary roles to be prudent and not to profit from the trust. As I've indicated, the law on preservation of benefits has also been tightened to ensure that members access their benefits when rightfully due on attainment of retirement age. And I hope at the end of this discourse, we will be looking forward to enhance the regulatory space to reduce the amount of money that people can access when they are still in their active economic life and in their working life. Currently, that figure remains at 50%. Our chief guest, the establishment of post-retirement medical funds, which allows members of schemes to save for their Medicare in retirement, helps to lessen the burden that people incur in their retirement life. And we are glad that we have a regulatory space and guidelines which specify what needs to be done, and very shortly we will be forwarding to you the regulations on post-retirement medical funds. In January 2021, Chief Guest, if you could allow, a major milestone was experienced with the rolling out of the Public Service Superannuation Scheme. The scheme which now transitions civil servants, public servants, from the defined benefit arrangements to defined contributions arrangements, thus easing the pension burden on the exchequer and enabling that retirement into the future for public servants will enable them to access benefits within 30 days from the date of retirement because it's a funded arrangement. Chief Guest, allow me to record that this is the fastest growing pension fund in Kenya today, with a membership of 443,000 members and assets under management now grossing over Kenya shillings 140 billion within a period of 3.5 years. And these contributions have been limited to the scheme as we speak today. The commencement of the NSSF Act 2013 is another key milestone in this space for the sector, with the enhanced contributions under the NSSF Act aimed at ensuring that we address the challenges of adequacy of benefits, but also enhancing the people who are saving for retirement and the coverage for that matter. Also is important in this space, we have also witnessed the establishment of a national micro-pension scheme, the Kenya National Entrepreneurs Trust, KICC, with a sustainable model that combines long-term savings with short-term needs, that is open to all informal sector workers in Kenya who are mostly left out in pension savings. Ladies and gentlemen, even though the milestones realized so far are worth celebrating, they should never crowd out our vision for greater achievements for this sector. We must remain committed to supporting further reforms in the pension sector, and as a demonstration to this commitment, we are glad to join our chief guest today as he launches the National Retirement Benefits Policy and the RBA Strategic Plan for the year 2024. Two documents embody transformative ideas for the sector, for the years to come, for the future generations. The strategic plan that we are launching today envisions dignity in retirement for our people, dignity in retirement for the Kenyan worker, and dignity in retirement by bringing in those people who are excluded from this space. The strategic plan heralds a renewed spirit for the authority, a spirit of transformation and excitement about the possibilities that lie ahead and the collective effort that will shape our future. And we have comprehensively reviewed our mission, our vision, and we have aligned them with the dynamic landscape that we are in, particularly the dynamic in the labor market, where people are no longer employed on permanent and pensionable terms. They are on contractual terms, and we must align ourselves to ensure that in this space, even with those terms of engagement, that people who are working will not go home as destitute. And in doing so, Chair, if we could allow on the core values that define us, that define this organization, that define the Retirement Benefits Authority, we emphasize that we shall be fair, and fairness will be a driving agenda in this space. That integrity in delivering the mandate under the Retirement Benefits Act would be sustained and maintained. That we shall be agile, responsive to serve our stakeholders. And that the team which is supposed to be doing this, the employees of the RBA, under the stewardship of the board, will ensure that there is a team spirit. In fact, the acronym of our core values is FIAT, which in Latin means let it be done. And Chief Guest, I wish to promise it will be done, and this strategic plan will be implemented to the fullest. This plan also brings in 3 key resort areas to ensure that we focus on the business ahead of us. That we will, and we commit, that we want to be efficient, we want to be effective, and therefore efficiency and effectiveness in service delivery is our clarion call. Number 2, in response to the dynamism in this space, that we look forward in this strategic plan to ensure that we have a sound and responsive regulatory framework in this republic. And finally, for those who are excluded, that we bring them into this space through an inclusive and sustainable retirement benefit sector. We will have a presentation to expound on our strategic plan shortly. Chief Guest, in the interest of time, our vision for the future and our vision for this industry and this nation is that we shall have a vibrant and thriving retirement benefit sector which contributes greatly to the economy, and we ensure that we leave no one behind, where everyone can realize their goals after their working life in the various organizations that they work. We are looking forward to that a Juakari artisan in Kibera today, a child in Kilifi today, a woman in Turkana today, and any different abled person in Kisumu will survive and live decently in their retirement life because the avenues will be afforded. In conclusion, I welcome you to the Pension Convention today and tomorrow for the 2 days. Together, we will shape a future for the retirement benefits sector that is sustainable and guarantees a dignified retirement for all. It is also our view that will offer an opportunity to network, to share, and learn from each other on various unique experiences. I welcome you all to stay with us for the 2 days as planned. Finally, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the Principal Secretary for honoring our invitation, for his presence today to launch the retirement benefits policy for the first time in this republic, and also for launching our strategic plan. My sincere gratitude also goes to our esteemed stakeholders, the industry service providers, the respective pension schemes, the members of the public here today. Please allow me also to sincerely thank the Board of Directors of the authority under the stewardship of our chairman, Mr. Nelson Harvey, in driving and giving more impetus and traction in the space of retirement benefit sector, and the staff of the authority for their unwavering support and commitment to this noble cause. Please allow me, as I exit from the floor, to request the staff of the Retirement Benefits Authority to be upstanding for recognition. The team that has been driving this business, please be upstanding, staff of the Retirement Benefits Authority. P.S. This is a very robust, resilient team of 80 persons, driving an industry oversight of 1.9 trillion people. They are diligent in service, and we commit that we will continue on that trajectory. Thank you very much. May God bless you all.
Let's appreciate the CEO once more, and also appreciate the staff from the Retirement Benefits Authority. Your dressing is on game. You're looking good. Ladies and gentlemen, Nelson Harvey is the chairperson of the Board of Directors, Retirement Benefits Authority. Let's put our hands together as we welcome him to give us his opening remarks, Chair.
The Chief Guest, Principal Secretary, the National Treasury, friends, allow me to adopt the protocols set out by my friend Sir Charles. You will allow me to carry the clipboard because it's only Yoweri Museveni and I who are allowed to carry the clipboard. On behalf of the Board of Directors, Management and Staff of the Retirement Benefits Authority, I'm pleased to welcome you all to the launch of the Retirement Benefits Authority Strategic Plan 2024-2029 and the National Retirement Benefits Policy. Thank you, Bwana Pierce, for gracing this momentous occasion and for your invaluable support to the authority and the retirement benefits sector. Today marks a pivotal moment in our journey, a moment to reflect on our past achievements, recognize our present challenges, and boldly envision the future we aspire to create. As we gather here today, I'm reminded of the words of Helen Keller, who said, "Alone we can do little, together we can do much." Therefore, today's gathering is not just a mere event. It is a convergence of shared dreams and aspirations, a reaffirmation of our dedication to a cause greater than ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to confirm that the retirement benefits sector has a secure legal and regulatory framework which has seen assets grow to Kenya shillings 1.9 trillion and a coverage of 26% of the total working force, according to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. We aim to build on these gains, and today we stand on the renewed foundation, poised to build further, guided by our 6th strategic plan and the new National Retirement Benefits Policy. Ladies and gentlemen, the launch of these 2 strategic documents marks a significant milestone in the history of Kenya's retirement benefits landscape. They set the retirement benefits sector on a transformation path towards a secure and dignified retirement for all Kenyan workers in retirement. Therefore, as we navigate an ever-changing social-economic environment, these documents we are launching today provide a clear path toward a more inclusive, sustainable, and equitable future. Our goal is clear: to ensure that every worker, regardless of economic status, can retire with peace of mind, knowing that their retirement benefits are both secure and adequate to meet their needs in old age. Ladies and gentlemen, we were delighted when the Cabinet approved the National Retirement Benefits Policy on the 3rd of November 2023. The approval was testament to the commitment of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, to enhance social security and ensuring dignity in old age for every Kenyan. The policy is a visionary framework that gives life to Article 43 of the Constitution of Kenya, which guarantees social security as a basic right, as well as Article 57, which requires the state to take measures to ensure the rights of older persons are taken into. The provision of the policy enforces the government's initiative and cushion vulnerable Kenyans from old age, poverty, such as Older Person Cash Transfer Program, commonly known as Inua Jamii, and the Retirement Savings Provision under Financial Inclusion Fund, commonly known as Hustler Fund. Despite the physical constraints, the government has scaled up these initiatives to cover persons in the targeted groups. The policy further addresses the challenges in the retirement benefit sector by proposing areas of harmonizing and strengthening the legal framework. The streamlining and integration of various laws will ensure a coherent and efficient system that safeguards the interests of all stakeholders, fostering a more robust and unified retirement benefit system. The authority's sixth strategic plan presents a visionary roadmap guiding our path from 2024 to 2029. The plan, as said by those before me, is a testament to our collective commitment to reshaping the future of the retirement benefit sector in our nation. The plan further aligns with the government's bottom-up economic model for the achievement of constitutionally guaranteed economic and social rights. Through this plan, we are committed to promoting saving for retirement by supervising and supporting the development of the retirement benefit sector. This is essential for the mobilization of long-term savings, critical to our nation's economic growth and prosperity. Being the sixth plan, it builds on the gains realized through the successful implementation of preceding plans. I can confidently say that the retirement benefit sector is in a higher place now compared to where it was 24 years ago, where there were significant changes, including fragmented legislation, low levels of awareness on savings of retirement, weak governance structures and schemes, misappropriation of retirement benefits, non-payment of benefits by employees, amongst others. This strategic plan is a vision for the future. It is a manifestation of our collective aspirations and a commitment to the values we hold dear. On the other hand, the National Retirement Benefits Policy focuses on the expanding coverage to a broader spectrum of the population, including those in the informal sector who have historically been marginalized in terms of retirement benefits. Moreover, these two documents emphasize governance and sustainability as the guiding principle in our work. In strengthening our regulatory and supervisory frameworks, we see that regulation is often seen as a technical exercise, but at its core, it's about trust. It's about ensuring that the promises made to our members are honored. Our regulatory and supervisory frameworks are the guardians of this trust. In strengthening them, we are not just enhancing compliance, we are reaffirming our commitments to integrity and accountability. We must recognize that trust is fragile and must be nurtured with transparency, consistency, and fairness. This, friends, is what we aim to achieve. Importantly, embracing technology is not merely a strategic choice. It is imperative for survival and relevance in the 21st century. The policy, like our strategic plan, encourages innovation within the retirement benefit sector. It promotes the adoption of new technologies and practices to enhance the efficiency and responsiveness of retirement benefit schemes to the changing needs of the society and the economy. We stand on the brink of this technological revolution. We must harness it to its greatest potential to create a more robust and resilient retirement benefit system. Ladies and gentlemen, as the regulator of the retirement benefit sector, we wish to affirm our commitment to remain steadfast, true to our mandate, to regulate, supervise, and promote the retirement benefit sector in our country. Our journey has been one of constant learning, adaptation, and growth. We have weathered economic storms, demographic shifts, technological revolutions, always guided by our ultimate responsibility to safeguard the interests of our members and ensure their retirement years are filled with peace and fulfillment. We should all remember that it takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. Therefore, the 23 years of reputation that the authority has built are only but going to be enhanced. In our rapidly evolving world, the retirement benefits sector faces unprecedented challenges and opportunities which call for a deep and nuanced understanding of the interconnections of various sectors. One of the major challenges currently facing the retirement benefits sector is unremitted contributions, which is a huge burden that is prevalent in the public sector. As at the 30th of June 2024, the total amount of outstanding contributions by defined contribution schemes stood at approximately Kenya shillings 50 billion. Over 95% of these funds are owed by public sector schemes. There is growing concern over the debts owed by public universities, the county governments, and some state corporations, including Postal Corporation of Kenya, Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, and the Pyrethrum Board of Kenya. It is important, therefore, to have a candid discussion around these challenges before they engulf us and erase all the benefits realized within the retirement benefit sector. We are happy that this will form part of our discussion later this afternoon. Another issue that threatens our reputation as a sector is the delay in the payment of benefits for retiring civil servants under the civil service DB schemes. The pension liability is dependent on the prevailing physical conditions in the country. However, we must not shy away from discussing and proposing viable policy options that will ameliorate the suffering reported by retired civil servants who at times die before getting paid and the retirement benefits in extreme circumstances. As we address this challenge today, friends, we are pleased to note that one of the milestone achievements in the retirement benefit sector was the enactment of the Public Service Superannuation Scheme Act as part of the government reform initiatives in the pension sector. The defined contribution and contributory scheme, which commenced in January 2021, ensures contributions are made timely and there is a fund to pay benefits when they fall due. Ladies and gentlemen, as we launch our 6th strategic plan on the national retirement benefits policy, we are making a pledge to uphold the highest standards of integrity, to innovate with empathy, and to act with foresight and responsibility. I urge each one of you to join us in this journey. Let us commit to the principles of transparency, accountability, and inclusivity. Let us strive for excellence in everything we do, and let us remain focused on our ultimate goal, ensuring that every individual can retire with dignity and security. Our success depends on the strength of our partnership. It is therefore a recognition that our goals can only be achieved through the concerted efforts of all stakeholders. We must foster a culture of open dialogue, mutual respect, and shared responsibility. By working together, we can create a retirement benefit system that is sustainable and impactful. Friends, in conclusion, on behalf of the Retirement Benefits Authority Board, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to all those who have contributed to the development of this strategic plan and the National Retirement Benefits Policy. Your collective insights, feedback, and support have been invaluable. I would also like to thank our dedicated staff at the Retirement Benefits Authority for their unwavering commitment and hard work. Your dedication and passion are the driving force behind our achievements, and I have no doubt whatsoever that we will continue to achieve greater things together. As we move forward, let us remain steadfast in our mission and united in our purpose. The future of our retirement benefit sector is bright, and with your support, we can provide financial security and peace of mind for all. Ladies and gentlemen, the old saying goes that the future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. It's not a fallacy. Together, let us dream of a retirement benefit system that not only meets the needs of today, but anticipates the challenges of tomorrow. Thank you once again for being here today, and I hope we all enjoy the 2 days discussing and encouraging matters of mutual interest as well as networking. Asanteni sana na mubarikiwe.
Let's continue appreciating the chairperson of the Retirement Benefits Authority. On a lighter note, I didn't think KBC would feature in his speech that way, particularly on that part of the speech, but we hear you, Chair. It's time for us now to get some presentations regarding the highlights of a strategic plan as well as the National Retirement Benefits Policy. And to start us off, and briefly so, is Mr. Albert Mwenda, who is the Director General, Budget, Fiscal and Economic Affairs. Karibu, Albert.
As the presentation is loaded, the PS National Treasury, the Chairman of the Board of Directors of the Retirement Benefits Authority, the CEO of the Retirement Benefits Authority, Mr. Charles Mashira, the members of the board of the RBA, colleagues from the National Treasury and staff of the RBA and stakeholders from the private sector. Good morning. I think the beauty of the discussion today is that at one point all of us will need to take care of our lives later when we are less energetic and when the needs to take care of old age conditions will come biting. And therefore, it is an important conversation. But fortunately, we have come a long way. We've seen from the presentation by the chair and the CEO that we have made collectively major strides. But from this we have learned. And therefore I want to recognize the effort of colleagues from Treasury, RBA, and stakeholders from various institutions that have been thinking about the issues to do with retirement benefits, and therefore have come up with the National Retirement Benefits Policy that should guide us going forward and hopefully address some of the challenges that have been articulated today. Now, I would like to give highlights of what is the retirement, what is the content of the Retirement Benefits Authority, and I will do this by first looking at the rationale for that policy. What do we seek to address? And then come back and talk about the policy stipulations. How do we intend to address those policy concerns? First and foremost is to ask ourselves, what really is the retirement benefit system? What is the purpose? And everything we discuss will tend to revolve around this. I'll summarize it as 3 points. One is the need to enable the smoothing of the consumption so that you are able to deal especially with the old age issues. And enabling consumption for starting what you are enjoying today, you should be able to enjoy in your retirement, and then mitigating poverty, reducing risks of poverty in old age. And a secondary objective, which is of importance, especially to us at the National Treasury, is promoting savings. One way of growing savings in a country is actually deepening and growing our savings through pensions contributions. Now, then what is the role, or what does the Retirement Benefits Authority intend to do? So the policy intentions can be summarized into two. One is to improve the sector arrangement, its management, as well as its development. Second is to enhance the coverage while ensuring that we attain benefits adequacy by doing leakages from the pension system, and we'll look into that. And therefore, in developing this policy, we came up with an objective statement. And that statement is to provide a framework to guide the harmonization. There are issues to do with harmonization of the pension sector, legislative framework and policy, the coordination of activities within the sector, as well as promote good governance and growth of retirement benefits sector in order to ensure income security in old age for all workers. That means inclusivity is important by providing affordable, adequate, and sustainable retirement benefits. So adequacy, again, of the benefits. So that summarizes what the policy seeks to do. Now, what is the rationale for the Retirement Benefits Authority? So first, when we looked at the landscape or the sector of the Retirement Benefits Authority, we noted, and it has been described, I think captured very well by the chair of the board and the CEO, there has been significant growth, both in terms of the assets of the sector and even the membership into the schemes. Also the schemes themselves and also players in the sectors have increased. But also there's been an expansion in the governance structure. What does this tell us? It tells us you cannot manage the sector the way we managed it in 2000, the year 2000, when we had an asset base of 40 billion Kenya shillings. We now have to think about how do we deal with 1.9, but not just the 1.9 trillion. We expect this sector to grow significantly. The trend in the recently established public sector superannuation scheme is indicative of the kind of assets that we should be looking at 10 years from now. And that calls for relooking at the policy landscape. Of course, there's been fragmentation and uncoordinated legislative and policy framework. We operate under various, some pensions have been established in a standalone act. Some are outside the realms of the RBA. They are not fully under the regulations of the regulation of the Retirement Benefits Authority. But that then presents a problem when you want a sector to work in harmony. There is a low retirement benefits coverage. It's been said here that we are only able to cover 26% of those in employment. There is a challenge of benefits adequacy, that what is being contributed to the scheme and the growth of those assets are not enough to cover the retirement needs in old age. There is a weak framework for portability of benefits upon changing jobs and exiting employment. A challenge that we also noted is the complexity in the payout phase of the retirement benefits. And that calls again for relooking at the legal framework and how to sort out that, and better regulation of the payout phase products. The other challenge is to do with, we are now increasingly operating in regional trading blocks, and there is an expectation there will be movement of labor across borders. We are now talking of the African continental free trade area, and we look forward to professionals moving across border, and we need to facilitate the portability of pensions, so that if you are in Dar es Salaam, laws and taxation regimes should not limit your movement of your assets or your savings in the retirement benefits across border. There are issues to do with incentive frameworks. How can the incentives, whether you're talking about tax or other incentives, support the growth of the retirement benefits sector? There are issues to do with weak consumer protection mechanism. How do you, if you have challenges, are there mechanisms to lodge complaints, and are those complaints followed through? Is there sufficient literacy in terms of retirement benefits system? There's also, we also noted there was weakness in the governance framework for retirement benefits system in Kenya, and in some cases the governance frameworks were outdated given the growth and the development around the world. Leakages and preservation concerns that people are retiring and not having adequate resources to deal with their old age care because of some leakages around, and the CEO alluded to part of the problem is that we are also allowing significant withdrawals from our savings. 50% is a significant number, so what do we need to do? There is low leverage of ICT, and there could be more that could be done in terms of product innovation, and we'll be speaking to that shortly. And then the weak framework for supporting enhanced benefits in terms of post-retirement medical benefits, contributions, and elements of old age care, including, for example, integrating mechanisms or options for facilitating access to shelter in old age. So, having looked at those as concerns, as challenges, be addressed. So how does the policy then respond? So the policy interventions that have been proposed are, number one, to deal with the fragmentation and uncoordinated legal framework. We have proposed in the policy to review the current retirement benefit system and the applicable laws with a view to ensure that the legal framework supports affordable, sustainable, equitable, predictable framework that is subject to one regulatory and supervisory framework that is coordinated and harmonized. Is a tall order, but I think already there is some work going on towards addressing that. Second is to undertake legislative and administrative reforms to extend coverage of retirement benefits to both formal and informal sectors. Again, and I want to appreciate national entrepreneurs retirement benefit scheme, the KNEST, as a way of also bringing in the informal, and that's consistent also with the inclusivity agenda. The third area is to promote smoothing or encouraging or promoting adequacy of benefits in retirement by addressing issues, for example, of withdrawal, and there will be discussions at how much should be allowed to withdraw, to be withdrawn from the retirement benefit scheme while one is in active employment. Things like those, and they will be subject of discussion, and hopefully from the discussions here, we will then work on the recommendations from here. The fourth area is the need to review current products, the phase-out payouts, the payout phase. And the idea here is to make it simple. It is very complicated. The computation of the annuity and all that framework is a bit complicated for what I would call the lay people in this sector. And there is also need to regulate better. I think some classes of people struggle to access benefits because of either the complexity, but also the system doesn't work, but it needs to be regulated so that we ensure that members are able to access their benefits when they need those benefits. Quickly, the other area is on portability. And portability of pension savings is both within the country and across the borders. We need to work on that, and we need to work on a legal framework that helps us to do that. And the big challenge is that these schemes operate under different legal frameworks. These legal frameworks are not speaking to each other or are not aligned. And therefore it becomes difficult to port savings from one scheme to another, and there is need to then address that concern. The other proposal within the policy, or the other policy stipulation, is to adopt incentives that support development and of retirement benefits sector. And I have cited some that were in the Finance Bill 2024 that flopped. We think we should still push some of these. We get the feedback we get is that there is unlikely to be any resistance, for example, to the proposal to increase the amount on contributions, monthly contributions, that is allowable for tax from 20,000 to 30,000. That will make pensions contributions more attractive, and we could see more contributions, and therefore that's consistent with our objective of growing the sector and especially the assets. The need to, and remember we talked about the need to enhance benefits that can be embedded in the pension scheme. So the proposal to introduce an amount of 10,000 Kenya shillings per month as a deductible amount towards contribution to post-retirement medical benefits. It's a proposal that was in that finance tax exemption on the benefits. When the benefits are paid currently, they attract tax. We've made some progress. The contributions are exempt up to a cap of 20,000 currently, and we are proposing 30,000. The investments, they are exempt, but where we've not addressed is the payment of the benefits. So that we have proposed that should become exempt going forward upon retirement or upon access after 20 years. Quickly, the policy also proposes to develop and implement a consumer protection measures, looking at the market conduct principles, including promoting literacy, supporting literacy on pension issues, and also working on issues of compliance, so that we do not disadvantage the pensioners. Development of a governance framework, that's key, that enhances transparency, effectiveness, and efficiency. The need to reduce leakages in the pensions system to ensure that we can to limit early access to the retirement benefits. I've already talked about that, and ensure provision of short-term and provide for mechanism to deter also to deter or to disincentivize the short-term access to the need for withdrawing because of the financial needs in between during the working life, and secure the core objectives of the retirement benefits sector of providing adequate retirement, and then review the supervisory framework and incorporate use of emerging technologies. And here we are talking about innovation, so that you minimize the cost of managing. A good example is the investments, say, in the instruments. You embrace technology, so that you can directly embrace technology for purposes your costs. I think we had an experience around typically the use of, if we went back, say, to the model of Akiba banking, where you could invest directly to government instruments and therefore minimize cost to the scheme. And then, and this is in terms of policy interventions, we also are proposing enhancing of benefits for members by introducing innovations that are more attractive, address especially issues of healthcare, but also old age care. For example, we can look for ways of introducing frameworks that cover short-term contract workers. KNEST is a good example, but there may be many others innovations that could be looked into. Options for incentivizing or integrating savings for post-retirement medical benefit within the pension schemes, enabling members to pre-fund their post-retirement for their post-retirement shelter, or providing incentives to save for to acquire post-retirement shelter, and incentives for old age care, for example, by way of incentives for affordable elderly homes. And finally, on implementation, there is already a task force to be chaired by the National Treasury with the RBA as the Secretariat. This group will steer the implementation of the policy. The stakeholders have been mapped, and their roles clearly defined. I think where we are at is we need to engage more with stakeholders to agree on work plans for activities that will be undertaken to roll out. But initial thinking is already taking place. Let me stop here, and I want once again to thank the team, the Treasury, of course, under the leadership of the PS National Treasury, the team, the RBA, under the leadership of the CEO, and other stakeholders, including the private sector, for your input into this policy. We look forward to continuing the partnership in implementing the policy. I thank you.
Let's continue appreciating Albert. Thank you very much for the presentation. We have serious time constraints, very serious time constraints. And therefore, Lazarus Casey, the Deputy Director, Research and Strategy, will take 5 minutes. And if you see me stand behind you, it means time's up.
Thank you very much. All protocols observed. I have been signaled to take 3 minutes, and I think I'll abide by that because most of the things have been covered. I'll start with an overview of the retirement benefits sector, and looking at the mandate. I think the mandate was spelled very clearly by the CEO and the chairman, the Retirement Benefits Authority Board. Now, when we look at a snapshot of the industry, I think in terms of current assets, you can see the flow. We are growing steadily. At the moment, from 40 billion to 1.9 trillion. Average growth is 12%. In terms of active membership, again, there is growth, but at a slowing pace. I think using from the presentation of the National Treasury, you've seen there are other mechanisms that are coming in to prop up the retirement benefits sector by making it more attractive. I think we are going to use that to prop up the numbers. In terms of coverage, you can see it from a low of 11 to 26 at the moment. Now, in terms of asset class distribution, by June 2024, you can see mostly the concentration is on in government assets. We are going to have a dialogue in the course of this summit on how to bring in alternative assets, and those questions, I think, they'll come in during that time. 92% in government assets, it's actually very concentrated on one area. So the risk, again, when we look at it, we shall look at that. In terms of the strategic plan 2024-2029 highlight, I think the majority of us mission, vision, core values, and of importance, we are looking for dignity in retirement. Dignity in retirement is our vision, and I think we shall be very happy if you achieve that. Now, in the implementation of the strategic plan, we've categorized it in key result areas with the desired outcome. Maybe here, I'll take maybe 40 or so seconds. We have key result area, number 1, efficient and effective service delivery, and the desired outcome includes timely provision of quality service and enhance relevance of the authority. The second one is sound and regulatory framework. We are going to have an outcome as a stable pension system. And the last one is inclusive and sustainable retirement benefits sector. The desired outcome, we are going to have increased pension coverage and improved income replacement ratio. In terms of the strategies, we have objectives. We have 6, and when you get the copy, they are well stipulated. And because of the time element, I'll skip that. You will read from the policy. And finally, we have again mapped the key result areas, the objective, the strategic objectives, and the strategies we are going to undertake to achieve the key result area. That one is mapped, and because of time, we shall not run one by one. They are spelled in the strategic plan. I think for us to clearly execute what is in the strategic plan, we have key enablers that includes infrastructure and financial services. We have human resource management. Then we have leadership, which includes from the board to management and the governance of the sector. And lastly, we have research, innovation, and creativity, and of course, monitoring, evaluation, and learning. If this is done very well, we shall get corrective measures on the way to achieve the implementation matrix as set in the strategic plan. Thank you very much. It's because of the time. I think the chief guest has other engagements. I'll stop there and invite the CEO.
All right, well, you did well. Tumpigie Makofi, let's appreciate him. It's just a reminder that we are live on KBC Channel 1. We are also live on our social media handles at KBC Channel 1 and also at RBA, the social media handles of RBA. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to invite the Retirement Benefits Authority to invite our chief guest, that is Dr. Chris Kipto, PS Treasury, CEO.
Courtesy and with the indulgence of the chairman of the board of directors, Chairman, allow me to take this opportunity to invite our chief guest, the PS National Treasury, to come and address us today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mashira. I wonder why you had to come. The MC could have actually invited me. Okay, so Chairman of the Retirement Benefits Authority, Mr. Nelson Harvey, and all the board members of RBA, together with CEO, Mr. Charles Mashira, all the esteemed stakeholders, distinguished guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Hamjambo. Salam alaikum. I have come here with a team from National Treasury. Already Wenda has done the presentation, that is Director General in charge of Budget, Economic and Financial Affairs. But I also have the Director General in charge of Public Investment and Portfolio Management, Mr. Kibet. Who is MD for Privatization Authority. I think there are other members from Treasury here, Ambrose Ogango and the others. So I bring you greetings from National Treasury, and especially from my Cabinet Secretary, Bumbadi, who is with the President in Nyanza today. and he would have very much liked to join us today. You have been taken through the presentation on the policy that we are going to launch shortly, and it took time for Treasury to come up with the policy, culminating in approval by Cabinet. And when the CEO and Chairman came to my office to request that we grace the occasion for the launch of the strategic plan, we felt that it is timely that we combine both the launch of the policy and the plan. So I want to thank the organizers for inviting us, and particularly myself, to the launch of these two critical documents, which is the National Retirement Benefits Policy and the Retirement Benefits Authority's 6th Strategic Plan for the period 2024 to 2029. The launch of these documents indicates the government's commitment towards ensuring that every Kenyan citizen can retire with dignity, financial security, and peace of mind. Equally, the launch marks a significant milestone in our nation's journey of reforms towards enhancing social security and improving the lives of our citizens that began in 1997, which is about 24 years ago, with the enactment of the Retirement Benefits Act that created a regulatory agency for the retirement benefits sector and set minimum standards expected of funded retirement benefit schemes. Ladies and gentlemen, the development of the National Retirement Benefits Policy is a demonstration of the government's unwavering commitment to comprehensively address the challenges experienced in the retirement savings over time and securing the future of our citizens. Crafted in alignment with our Constitution, particularly Articles 43, subsection E, and Section 57, is a testament to our dedication to strengthening social security and upholding the dignity and well-being of our senior citizens. It addresses some of the pertinent challenges that have already been highlighted by Mr. Mwenda. And these challenges have tended to slow down the growth of the retirement benefit sector. You have heard the first challenge is on fragmented legal and policy framework, which governs the retirement benefit sector. The other has been also exclusion, because the informal sector has been left out. There are a majority of those who are employed in the informal sector but don't enjoy a decent retirement benefit scheme. And there is the issue of adequacy. You have heard the DG talk about the adequacy for the workers from the current schemes, that the current schemes do not provide adequate coverage, or at least after you retire, it's not enough what you get. Then there is the issue which has been highlighted on portability of retirement benefits, and also the issue of inadequacy of medical insurance for the elderly. There is also limited innovative products. You've had the presentation showing that we are mostly in the traditional asset class, most of which is in government securities. And I think I was challenging CEO earlier when they were briefing me that we have this aspiration to run a balanced budget. And when we succeed, then the opportunity to invest in government paper might be limited. So it's good to also think of other asset classes. So, ladies and gentlemen, the policy which we are going to launch now, shortly, will address the highlighted challenges by providing a framework to guide the harmonization, the coordination, good governance, and the growth of the retirement benefit sector. And this will ultimately guarantee income security in old age for all workers and ensuring affordable, adequate, and sustainable retirement benefit system for our country. As you will notice, one of the key pillars of this policy is the harmonization of legal and regulatory frameworks governing the retirement benefits sector. It envisions streamlining and integrating various laws to create a coherent and efficient system that safeguards the interests of all stakeholders. This move is anticipated to eliminate the fragmentation and inconsistencies that have long plagued the sector, fostering a more robust and unified retirement benefits system. Equally, this policy aims to enhance pension coverage, especially for the informal sector workers, which constitute over 85% of our workforce. This will ensure that no Kenyan is left behind in the government's drive towards social inclusion and economic justice for a fair and equitable society. Ladies and gentlemen, ensuring that vulnerable Kenyans at the bottom of the pyramid are included in the saving for retirement is one of Kenya Kwanza's promises to Kenyans. And in this regard, the Kenya National Entrepreneurship Savings Trust, famously known as KICC, is a national informal sector pension scheme that was established by the government to meet the unique needs of the informal sector. And I am pleased to inform you that KICC has now set up all the necessary structures, and that very soon we will be formally launching it. In addition, all the long-term savings accumulated under the Financial Inclusion Fund, the famous Hustler Fund, will be remitted to the KNEST Fund for investment and management to safeguard these benefits in accordance with the provisions of the Retirement Benefits Act. The management of this saving component of the Hustler Fund by KNEST aligns with the President's pronouncement and also the budget policy statement that was made by our Cabinet Secretary. The other critical issue at the heart of this policy is good governance and sustainability. As such, the policy outlines mechanisms to ensure transparency and sustainability in management of retirement benefits. Further, in today's globalized world, the mobility of labor across sectors and borders is a reality that cannot be ignored. This policy aims to facilitate portability of retirement benefits between schemes and across borders. Moreover, the policy places a strong emphasis on innovation within the retirement benefit sector by encouraging adoption of new technologies and practices that can enhance the efficiency and responsiveness of retirement benefit schemes to the changing needs of our society and the economy at large. By fostering a culture of innovation, we are ensuring that Kenya's retirement benefits system remains dynamic and adaptable to future challenges. Consequently, the policy provides for a strategy to have adequate medical insurance for the elderly. The policy also seeks to have a robust consumer protection framework, including a robust dispute resolution mechanism to protect retirement benefits consumers. From the foregoing, and based on the presentation made by Mwenda, it is apparent that the implementation of this policy will require substantial resources. Therefore, I call upon all the stakeholders to work together in partnership to help realize the aspiration of this policy and transform the lives of the elderly. Ladies and gentlemen, the policy places the Retirement Benefits Authority at the center in the implementation of the National Retirement Benefits Policy. As such, the development of appropriate strategies would go a long way in ensuring full implementation of the policy. It is my belief that the strategic plan that we are going to launch shortly, that is covering the period 2024 to 2029, is an important step in the right direction of ensuring realization of the policy initiatives outlined in the National Retirement Benefits Policy. The launch demonstrates that the authority values a systematic and orderly approach to business. It is essential for all organizations to plan meticulously, as failing to plan is planning to fail. Effective planning must be continuous, adaptable, and above all, strategic. This approach has become well established in the public sector and has greatly enhanced operational efficiency. More importantly, the plan aligns with the fourth medium-term plan of Vision 2030 and the bottom-up economic transformation agenda of the Kenya Kwanza government, both of which are geared towards achieving constitutionally guaranteed economic and social rights for all Kenyans. The plan recognizes the critical role retirement savings play in mobilizing long-term capital for national development, particularly in funding key initiatives such as those under BETA. The role played by the retirement benefit sector in mobilizing long-term savings is vital for economic development and prosperity. I'm pleased to learn that through this strategic plan, we aim to grow retirement benefit savings from 1.7 trillion Kenya shillings to 3.2 trillion Kenya shillings over the next 5 years. These funds are invested within the economy and can be utilized in funding our development projects. I want to urge RBA to embrace prudent management and investment of these resources for the development, growth, and shared prosperity of our country. In addition, I'm glad to note that despite a largely voluntary pension system, pension coverage now stands at 26% of the workforce, and the plan is to push this to 34% in the next 5 years. I dare challenge you, RBA and the leadership, go beyond 34. You can achieve much more than that. These ambitious targets in the strategic plan requires collaboration from all stakeholders, including government, the private sector, and civil society. In addition, leveraging technology will be critical in the successful implementation of this plan, as this will improve the efficiency and accessibility of retirement benefit schemes, making them more inclusive and user-friendly. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we look to the future, the challenges we face are significant, but more so, they are opportunities. And I can't agree more with what Nelson Harvey said, that the future belongs to those who belong in the beauty of their dreams. I heard something like that. The coverage of pension schemes remains low, particularly within the informal sector. However, the innovative strategies outlined in this policy and the strategic plan that we are going to launch shortly are designed to address these gaps, ensuring that all workers, regardless of their employment status, have access to retirement benefits. Nevertheless, the challenges and opportunities we face in Kenya are reflective of broader global trends. Across the world, countries are grappling with the complexities of ensuring adequate retirement income for their aging populations. The global retirement landscape is shaped by demographic shifts, economic uncertainties, and evolving labor markets. In many developed countries, aging populations are exerting immense pressure on public pension schemes. And for us, it's even good that we have moved to PSS, because at the National Treasury, at least the exchequer pressures are not as much as when we have the defined benefits. But now when we move to define the contribution, it's much better, because at least we can plan well in the future. So in many developed countries, I have said aging populations are exerting immense pressure on public pension schemes. For instance, countries in Europe and North America are witnessing increasing life expectancies, necessitating longer periods of retirement support. This demographic trend has prompted reforms aimed at raising the retirement age, promoting private savings, and enhancing the sustainability of pension systems. Emerging economies face a dual challenge: expanding pension coverage while ensuring sustainability. Many of these countries, including Kenya, have large informal sectors that are not adequately covered by the traditional pension schemes. Addressing these gaps requires innovative solutions tailored to unique socio-economic context of this nation. nations. In Kenya, we have seen previous efforts aimed at extending coverage to the informal sector, such as the BAO pension plan and other individual pension schemes. This strategic thinking to integrate the informal sector in driving pension coverage is in line with the current government's focus on the hustlers. However, there is still much more ground to cover to achieve universal pension coverage. It is my belief that the successful implementation of the National Retirement Benefits Policy, as well as the RBA strategic plan, would be a big step towards securing the financial future of our citizens at old age. They address critical aspects of coverage, regulatory frameworks, financial literacy, technology, sustainability, collaboration, economic stability, demographic adaptation, governance, and gender equity. The commitment in the implementation of the National Retirement Benefits Policy and the strategic plan of RBA would be key in achieving the goals and aspirations as indicated. I wish to restate the commitment of the government of Kenya in supporting RBA in achieving the set goals and objectives. Together, let us work towards a future where every citizen can look forward to a dignified and financially secured retirement. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking the task force that worked hard to complete the policy. Can we give them a round of applause, please? They have made Kenya proud to be counted as one of the countries in the world with a national retirement benefits policy. This is indeed a milestone in the efforts to make life in retirement more meaningful. I look forward to witnessing the successful implementation of these strategic documents and the positive impact that they will have on our society. It is now my utmost pleasure to officially launch the National Retirement Benefits Policy and the Retirement Benefits Authority Strategic Plan for the period 2024 to 2029. The journey for their implementation begins now. Thank you very much.
Let's continue appreciating the PS. Tumpigie makofi tena for a fantastic job, and thank you, PS, for honoring the invite of the Retirement Benefits Authority to inaugurate what we are about to. And now I'll ask that this table rolls down to the unveiling arena so that we can unveil the National Retirement Benefits Policy and the RBA Strategic Plan 2024 to 2029. Let's continue clapping for the PS and his delegation, as well as the Chair and CEO RBA, as they join him in unveiling these two very important documents. Tuendelee kupiga makofi tafadhali. Let's continue appreciating them. Tuwapigie makofi tena. In a bit, we will be launching this very strategic document. And we'll press it, but I'll count you down. At the count of, I'll count down from 10. And then at the count of 1, you will press it, and then it will reveal these very two important documents. Ladies and gentlemen, are you excited? Is the arena excited? Are you? All right, let's count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. PS, press. Press. There you go. Let's appreciate RBA. Let's appreciate the PS. There goes these two documents. The National Retirement Benefits Policy and the RBA Strategic Plan 2024 to 2029. Congratulations, the Retirement Benefits Authority. Tuendelee kupiga makofi as we congratulate RBA for this very important milestone. And now the person with these documents can present them to the PS and his delegation, as well as the chair and the CEO. The person who has these documents can actually present to the PS as well as the chair and the CEO. We'll be having a peep at that document even as we take photos. Before the presentation, maybe, let's have the chairperson and the PS posing for a photo before this unveiling arena. The PS and the chair. And these documents are being presented to the PS, his delegation, the chairperson of RBA, and the other invited guests. So the first photo is of the chairperson and the PS Treasury, Dr. Chris Kipto. If you're done, CEO, you can join in the photo.
So bring your good times and your laughter too. We gon' celebrate your party with you.
Fantastic. The board of directors, RBA, and the delegation from Treasury can join in the photo.
We gon' celebrate and have a good time. It's time to come together. It's up to you. What's your pleasure? Everyone around.
Fantastic job. Asante sana. And now, Bana PS, for honoring the invite. We have very beautiful gifts for you and your delegation here. I think it's time for us now to present these gifts to the PS, his delegation, and those that are down there. So the person bearing the gifts, let's head forward and give these gifts to the PS and his delegation. In the meantime, the Honorable Salah stand by for a vote of thanks, but let's give the gifts first. The chairperson, RBA, Nelson Harvey, presenting that gift to the chair, that is the Treasury CS, Dr. Chris Kipto, and thank you very much, PS, for joining us this morning. We thank you. Let me have the roving mic down here for Honorable Salat to give us the vote of thanks before I direct what else we're going to do. The roving mic very quickly to the Honorable Salat for a vote of thanks.
Chief guest, Dr. Chris Kipto, Principal Secretary, National Treasury, Chairman, Board of Directors, Nelson Harvey, the CEO, Charles Mashira, our esteemed stakeholders. On behalf of the Retirement Benefits Authority, I wish to extend our heartfelt gratitude to all of you for joining us this morning. A warm welcome to each of you gathered here today. It's an honor and privilege to have you with us here at KICC. And we deeply appreciate your presence in this momentous occasion of the presentation of the National Retirement Benefits Policy and the launch of the retirement of the RBA Strategic Plan 2024-2029. I wish also to thank, first and foremost, to express my deepest appreciation and gratitude to Dr. Chris Kipto, Principal Secretary, for gracing this occasion with your presence and your inaugural address that has set the tone for our journey ahead. Your support and leadership in this sector are invaluable to us. I also wish to thank our chairman, Mr. Nelson Harvey, together with the entire board of directors, for the guidance and commitment, and Mr. Charles Mashira, our CEO, for leading us in the development of this strategic roadmap. To Albert Mwenda, Director General Budget and Fiscal and Economic Affairs, thank you for your insightful presentation of the retirement benefits policy highlights and for your role in shaping the future of retirement benefits in this nation. We are also thrilled to witness the presence of our esteemed stakeholders from the pension sector. Your presence and underscores the importance of this event, and we thank you for taking this step with us. Lastly, to all Kenyans, we thank you for the trust you have bestowed upon us in making sure that we will always safeguard your interests in the retirement benefit sector. Together, we are shaping a brighter and more secure future for all Kenyans. At this juncture, it's my honor and privilege. I have done that. Present has already been presented. Thank you very much once again. And milestone, and may you all continue to work together towards the successful implementation of these strategic initiatives for the benefits of Kenyans. Asanteni sana, Mungu awabariki.
Thank you very much. We can continue sitting as the chairperson, CEO, and the rest escort the PS out. And thank you very much, PS, for your time. To my media colleagues who might want an interview with the PS Treasury, outside the VIP lounge, there's some space there where you can conduct an interview with the PS, the chair, and the CEO, that is the Retirement Benefits Authority. Some quick announcements here. The Board of Directors, together with those that are in the panel, or will be using in the panel after this session, are taking their breakfast from the VIP lounge. The rest of us will head towards where breakfast is being served for tea, and then we will reconvene again now for the panel sessions. We want to thank KBC Channel 1 for your partnership and for streaming this event live. Moving forward, this event will be streaming on our social media sites. That is YouTube, can be on KBC as well as on RBA. As you might notice, we have not done any closing prayer because we are coming back after breakfast. So can we step out for breakfast? We are going to do that for only 10 minutes and then come back for the panel session. So sit us on.
The young generation awakens on Y254, the leading youth TV station in Kenya. We treat you to current affairs, entrepreneurship, health, and human interest conversations.
It's art, it's culture,
Movies, gossip and trends, sports,
drama. We bring you a vibe like no other, straight to your living room.
to keep you informed, inspired, entertained, and most of all, refreshed.
We are such a vibe.
Y254. Imagine.
Do not lean on your own understanding.
Singing is really good and I really love it and I enjoy it. I would like to collaborate with an artist called Size 8 because she's really a good singer and I would like her to help me in nurturing and growing my talent.
I love today's book. And you know why? Because it has some of my favorite characters' names.
Stamped Mr. Tabo on Thursday, 33 Tanaring Tarabed, stamped Mr. Tabo on Thursday.
Today I'm going to show you guys how to make the yummiest chicken fried rice at the comfort of your home.
Where's my dad? You must have been such a good actress back in high school.
This man Kaikara, he'll even fake his own death.
The worst thing is that he uses his daughter to clear his mess.
This one is dead already.
I need that man to rot in jail.
Men like Kaikara never suffer in jail. And how I wish I could change that. Nick, we don't choose family, unfortunately.
Really, Nick?
Don't try to manipulate me. Are you done making conclusions in your head?